She's got me on her side quite quickly.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Poison, delicious cake. I like that bit though. Absolutely sucking the life out of me. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Getting Titanic vibes.
Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom coming to you from Shanghai, back for another Eurovision reaction video. Tonight I'm going to be reacting to the 7 or 8 songs in Vidbir 2022. That's Ukraine's national final. And listen, react to the songs and see if there's anything that could do well in Turin. So, let's kiki. As always, you can use the progress bar if you want to skip to one of the particular reactions. At this point in time of filming this, there currently is only 7 of the songs released. We're still waiting on Wellboy to release his. If you are watching a video with 8 songs in it, it means between now and then it's been released. But if it isn't, nothing I can do about it. I'm not sure why certain people are allowed to release their songs a little bit later than others, but when it comes to drama, Vidbir is never short of drama. It is the biggest soap opera national final. Actually, it's probably up there with the Spanish national final. The Spanish national final always has something go on as well. As you know, I'm a big fan of Ukraine. I would probably say they're in my top 3. I'm not sure if they're my number 1 country in the whole version, but they're definitely in my top 3 and in potential for being number 1. I think they take it really seriously. They probably have the best pedigree in terms of staging. I don't think there's any country who has consistently sent the best staging year after year. The only years when they don't do particularly well is when they've won and they don't want to win again. That usual excuse, we don't want to win, that some countries use, with Ukraine I actually believe it, because they do have the potential to win a lot, because they do have that magic formula ingredients, whereas a lot of countries haven't got a clue what they're doing. I think Ukraine's staging is actually starting to get a reputation. I heard last year that some other countries are starting to use Ukrainian stagers. I don't blame them. I think Ukraine really knows what they're doing with staging. We've got 7 songs at this point in time. I am not going to react to any music videos because really Ukraine is probably one of the worst countries for copyright. So I'm just going to stick to the simplest version. That's going to give a disadvantage to anyone who's relying heavily on visuals, but there's nothing I can do about that because honestly I need to get this video up. This week is super busy. I've got East Live, this, Supernova, Pabando Machinayo. I am slowly dying inside. I cannot take the pain of copyright infringement. Okay, I am going to use the order that they're using in the actual final. We already have the draw out. We're starting with Barleben, Hear My Words. I am aware of the fact that this is a replacement for Loud, Head Underwater, who was disqualified. More drama because his song was released in 2018. How could he possibly have forgotten that? Okay. Oh! There's no headphones in my headphone thing. Okay, I need to go get them.
That's going to come back and haunt me when I run out of battery. It's Barleben, Hear My Words, Wanna Know My Secret, Bang. Okay, so again, and this is amazing, I'm probably going to skip it, but oh, it's not bad actually so far. I do love Vidbir, I gotta admit, I do love it. Even when it's bad, it's good, messy, bad. And it's so dramatic as well. There's always drama in the final. Okay, this is alright so far. I am getting didn't qualify for the final through normal mean vibes. Yes, a little bit too jazz bar. He's got some piercing eyes on him. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, God, he's testing my patience now. Alright, I don't know if I'm going to make the whole way through this one. I think this is really going to drag when he's performing this. Unless he like literally sets himself on fire. Okay, building at the end. If this went, this would literally be the tamest Ukrainian entry in history. It is so tame by Ukrainian standards. Some pretty stuff at the end there. Very pretty, but definitely not wow enough and took way too long to get to the really, really pretty stuff. Nice composition, not done that for a second, but my standards for me are pretty high, I gotta be honest. I very, very rarely don't like their entry. Like, it's super, super rare. I can't think of a single time I didn't like it. The only times I haven't liked their entry is when they've won, basically. And even Razem Nash Bahato, I did actually like that when they won in 2000. That would have been 2005 because they won 2004. I actually like that. So literally every single year except for 2017 I've liked. Okay, next up we've got Cloudless with All Be Alright. That's some slightly dodgy English, but we will forgive it. It's not their first language. Cloudless, Wanna Know My Secret, Bang. Okay, that's something different. I do expect kind of lots of different sounds in Vidbir. They are pretty good at that. That's an intro. Okay. Okay, cool. Getting a kind of indie vibe. Actually, we don't have very many indie songs so far this year. And it's a good start. I like the rhythm so far. Okay, this has got potential. Unless this is the chorus. Please don't be the chorus. Please be the pre-chorus and we might be on something. Okay. Yeah. That wasn't the chorus I wanted. Yeah, it felt like the gun popped, but it was just like a lame bullet. Okay. There's a chorus actually, main line coming in. Nah, didn't really get there for me. I'm kind of going on the assumption as well that we're going to have weaker songs getting stronger. Whoa, bitch. This second verse feels a little bit more draggy. I don't think it had the same impact the first verse had. That background guitar riff is not prominent or interesting enough. I feel like that's the main thing that's carrying the song, and the weight on its back is too much. Yeah, that guitar really is the main piece of interest. Yeah, it just feels a bit shy. Oh, there's a couple of interesting intro ideas. I just wish they pumped the volume up and just took it a little bit more risks. This feels like a bit too safe. Okay, I'm ready for this to be over, I'm afraid. Slight mix-up again, it's the same problem. It is this shy mix-up, it's 50% energy. It's a shame because actually their sound is cool. But yeah, it's too restrained. It's kind of a little bit disappointing because I actually feel like if that was dangerous, risky attempt, they would probably be onto something. So, okay, you never know, they might come back though in the future. Third up we have Michael Soul. He's talking about his demons. Oh my god. Is this a boy or a girl? Let's find out. Michael Soul, One on My Secret Bang. I think it's a boy. Ooh, mystical, spiritual sounding, like a spell. I think we're gonna get a beat. Some interesting production there. It sounds like sound effects more than melody. Got a cool androgynous look. Okay, this is a great... It's a good start. I'm trying to stay away from the word great. Wow. So that's definitely more risky than Cloudless. I wonder what's going to happen visually now. I do feel like this needs visuals. But I really like this. This is brave. This is a brave competition. It's risky, interesting sounds. I am getting slight Dune vibes as well, like Dune pop. Again, I often find with Ukrainian songs, I love the ideas. I just feel like because a lot of them are kind of up-and-coming artists, they don't know how to do that full production the whole way. There's definitely great ideas here. I'm not hearing that super wow one thing yet. There's definitely like a future post-apocalyptic feel to it. This beckoning bit now is very pretty. And he's harmonizing what he's got with his background singers is pretty as well. If they go for like a really, really striking visual of this, I think I'd be more on board. Like something really out there, a bit costumey. Nice swirling ending there. Do you know that really remind me of that boy from Belarus? I can't remember his name. Follow the Play was the song. Belarus national final maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I really, really liked him. The song was called Follow the Play. He had a lot of fringe on. I don't think he did very well. I think that was just a me song. Really, that sound sounds very similar to that kind of like dreamy, electronic, slightly futuristic. I enjoyed that. I thought that was good so far. Definitely my number one so far. Yeah, just again, that similar notes to Cloudless, where I liked some of the ideas. I wish that maybe that the harmonizing bits were really pretty. I just felt like maybe I felt a little bit lost in the verses. I didn't know where he was or where he was going. But as a starting package, I like it. Do Ukraine usually do revamps? I suppose Shum had a revamp. I feel they usually do revamps when it's necessary. Actually, a lot of times they don't need it. The next song is called Our Atlantic, and it's called Moia liubov. I know what liubov is, that's my love. So are we going to get something a little bit different again? The Our Atlantic, wanna know my secret bang? Wow, this has had so few views. Okay, so more 70s, 60s vibe. Okay, this is cool. It's like a different feel from everyone else so far. Really like eclectic range of people compared to the Irish national final. And each different person has brought a very different sound as well, so it's like a logarithmically more diverse. It's pleasant so far. It's kind of a bit background music. I haven't heard the big exciting moment yet. I wonder why so many is really, really few views. Maybe it's just the link I picked up. I'm not feeling this at all. I'm hovering over the skip button. Yeah, it's kind of like a disco throwback song, but the melody is not prominent enough. Is that a bass guitar? That's got some nice riffs on it. Really, it doesn't feel enough to salvage it for me, I'm afraid. Salvaging from the Atlantic. Getting Titanic vibes. Nah, not Titanic vibes. I just couldn't resist the pun there. But yes, I do want to skip this. My god, a minute left. Okay, I'm going to listen to the rest of it, but I'll probably edit out if I'm not feeling it. Okay, this is absolutely sucking the life out of me. I'm stopping. I was 15 seconds away from them. My god, that was literally draining the life out of me. Okay, next up we've got Alina Pash. It's Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors. That's a very interesting title. I think this is a person who would benefit from the visuals because it looks like she's got a really, really interesting cultural style to her. But again, same playing field for everyone. Let's see if the song can stand up on its own. Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors, that's a very interesting title. I'm wondering, is this going to go down a similar road to 1944? Alina Pash, wanna know my secret bang? This is way more likes than the last one. Really attention grabbing start. Oh, really pretty. Like timeless. Sounds like it's reminding me of like Silk Road or something. I think this is a sound that would be very exotic for like a Western Europe. Gorgeous instrumentation. I'm definitely rooting for this. I get that. She's got me on her side quite quickly. Feels like it's got a really strong cultural ethnic identity after like 50 seconds. Okay. Ooh. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Yes. Vidbir always delivers. Yeah. God, this is lovely. Feels like it's got a story behind it. And it makes me want to travel. Lovely. I feel relief as well because at least we're guaranteed to have something decent. Ooh. She's mixing it up. Kind of give me slight vibes of Manisha from last year. Oh, I can't wait to see her live performance. It's going to be really good. Okay, some dodgy lyrics, but mostly nice. And at least she's writing stuff that's original. Again, this lovely chorus. I hope it does mix up a little bit more as we get into the second, third one. Or the instrumentation built up or flurried or something. Oh, lovely. That's some great ad-libbing. She needs to keep that up. Yeah, that lovely. Sounds like a real, oh, I love that beckoning type of vocal. Lovely, lovely. Ukraine always has this, they're just great with this type of like really authentic, very heartfelt type music. Lovely. And I've got a small picture of her at the end. I am really, really, really looking forward to the live performance. I thought that was really, really lovely. It was full of character, and I felt like it was showing me off like a part of Ukrainian identity. I'm assuming that was a Ukrainian style instrumentation, but it gave me kind of like almost Central Asian vibes as well, like possibly some of the history that came from that aspect, because obviously Ukraine is kind of in the middle between the West, between Europe in the West and then Central Asia in the East. So it felt like it was a melding of that, and it felt timeless, and there was some historical elements in it as well. And obviously she was singing about something important, even though some of the lyrics were maybe a little bit not perfect. But the fact that she's actually writing about something important to her, and she mixed it up with the rap, and it felt like it had Manisha vibes, and it had a lot of her personality and her heart in it. Really, really, really liked it. Like, I'm probably gushing over it to the point you think, oh, this is going to be like my favorite song the whole season. It's not, but it's just that like deep something with that depth that I just love from national finals, and which I miss sometimes, that sometimes national finals just become a little bit too sterile and a little bit too samey. So when you've got something that's got a lot of national final character, I don't think we've had too much of it this year, really. Do you know what? I would say Soulbover felt like that as well, because that felt like Norwegian character, but then it wasn't giving me like ethnic characters. I suppose we had it with like Mary Moan as well. That felt like kind of Viking. But yeah, we just don't get it that often. It's exciting to me. Okay, speaking of exciting to me, next up is, no, it's not Roxolana, it's Kalush Orchestra. I have heard a little bit about these guys. One and number secret bang. Okay, again, it's got a cultural feel to it. Maybe feels a little bit like a cultural feel mixed with a modern. Okay. That was a little bit heartbreaking, but we'll stick with it. I'm not really into Ukrainian rap, I'm not gonna lie. I like that bit though. Okay, I like the chorus. I'm not as into the rap verse as much. It's got some nice production in the background. Their look is very unusual now. Like I said, I won't get into visuals, but I've got a small visual here of 6 guys. You look quite post-apocalyptic. It's like post-apocalypse Ukraine. And we're getting on that flute. I can't remember the name of that little flute from last year. People did tell me in the comment section. I can't remember the name. Yeah, the rap bit. I'm out. I'm checking out for 40 seconds. On top of the fact I don't understand what he's saying. It does sound playful. Whatever he's rapping about sounds playful. This more kind of like ancient beckoning is more appealing. Do you know what? I am more enjoying it than not enjoying it. My net approval is positive. The bridge clap, not a fan of that, done to death. It's curious as well that in the draw they've put this after Alina Pash. That is very unusual, because I feel like they should be spaced apart a little bit, because they have got a similar... The 2 songs are the most similar so far. Ooh, I definitely like this last bit. Oh, why wasn't that earlier? Oh, that was so good. This last 20 seconds, we should have had that 3 times. That last 20 seconds was freaking awesome. But we should have got that after a minute, and after 2 minutes, and then the last 30. So, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, there were so many positives and so many negatives, like, jammed on top of each other, like this big, messy, poison, delicious cake. Yeah, a bit disappointed with that, because I just want them to just steal out the slightly dodgy stuff. And the good stuff at the end there, why did that come so late? That really cool mix-up. Maybe it was earlier, but that beat with it maybe made it more noticeable or gave it more energy. So in its final form, it was at its best. Okay, anyway, never mind, let's move on. The next person is Roxolana with Girlzzzz with 4 Zs. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Zs. I have had several people ask me to react to this. Who knows, they might be robots, but this is the moment of robot happiness because I'm going to do that. I do believe this is the favorite. Actually, I don't know it's the favorite. I'm guessing. I will look up the odds afterwards to kind of discuss who I think is going to win, etc. But as far as I'm aware, this... You fucker. This is the favorite. And you haven't got your microphone on. Because how long have you not had your microphone on for? Okay, I've got my microphone on now after 6 songs. Perfect timing. It's Roxolana, Girlzzzz, One and Number Secret Bang. Very interesting lyric video. Oh, that's not fair. She gets an advantage. That is a very, 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 very promising beginning. It's got attitude, and it feels like... Oh, it's just got an interesting, unique sound. Okay, where's she going? Ooh. Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. That's lovely. Oh, I'm definitely getting Maru vibes as well. Okay, where's she going? I wasn't expecting that. She's definitely subverting my expectations. She started well. I feel like she's backed herself in the corner. I know where she's going to go from here. Okay, she's mixed up for the second verse, which you know I like. She's not just repeating herself. A lot of sass and attitude in this. Definitely not lacking in character. She's getting a slight advantage because I'm getting some visuals. They're just simple visuals. Oh, God, that's just a really unusual pop drop. It feels ethnic. It's a little bit shummy, isn't it? It's a little bit of like ethnic dance. Just slightly, not as ethnic as shum. It feels like a more like metropolitan feeling shum. Okay, where's she gonna go towards the end now? I'm curious. I feel like she's been pretty good at surprising me so far. Okay, I don't know if that went where I wanted to in the last chorus. But still very, very interesting. Yeah, it's a very, very, very strong entry. I have to admit, I was kind of on board thinking like, wow, this is like super special at the start, and then maybe just lost like a tiny bit of steam. But like my expectations for Vidbir are pretty high, and my standards are pretty high because the standards are high in Vidbir. So I would probably be very like, oh my god, wow, if it was another country. But with Ukraine, I'm like, I expect this like out there, daring, slightly like unusual and new. I always feel like they've got like a new voice, and they're coming up with like experimental type stuff. That's cool. It feels like, I think that metropolitan shum is probably the best way to sum it up. It felt like that kind of dancey, maybe not as extreme as shum, but it felt like more, a little bit more urban and less out there and kind of esoteric than shum was, but it still had that with a little bit of an ethnic feel underneath it. And this song, I get the impression I'm never like amazing at picking out the lyrics unless they're really shoved in my face, but yeah, I get the impression it's just like a girl power song, but I could be totally wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, those are the 7 I've heard so far. If Wild Boy's song is released between now and when I edit this, I will do a short reaction on my phone and add that in. But at this point in time, there is nothing, unless he's like literally, yeah, I got nothing. So the fact as well that he's been given the 8th slot, I wonder, is that because there's some drama behind it? He's got a hyperlink, so is he known in? He was in X Factor. I don't know. Nazi Bossy, it's an interesting title. He's been given the last slot. I don't know if that usually is reserved for someone who's like the favorite. Let's go. I have to go through the 7 at this point in time. If you made me pick, I would pick Alina Pasha. I just love the character. I love that timeless feel that it felt like a song that was kind of ancient or medieval, but then she had the rap on it, which felt kind of modern. But the whole thing had this like common lineage of being like quite like depth, having a cultural depth to it. And I just thought it sounded really, really interesting. There were lots of interesting sounds that I'm not used to hearing that I suppose Ukrainian people are more familiar with.
But for me, it was very interesting. It sounded like she was giving me that same vibe that Manisha had last year, of this kind of like real artistry in music and having a strong female voice, and it just sounded like she was singing about something that was real to her and personal. And yeah, I just connected with it. I thought it was great. Look, I'm not saying it's like a why song I'm going to download, but there is that large how you feel visual element to Eurovision as well. There's often like Manisha, I actually didn't download that song, but in terms of like visual total packages, I probably would have put it in my top 10 last year, even though we didn't download and listen to it, which sounds quite unusual, but you know, Eurovision isn't just an audio competition. So I really enjoyed that. I would probably say Roxolana is my number 2, just she has some really, really interesting ideas. I actually did kind of like Kalush Orchestra. I just probably wouldn't put it as high because the good bits I felt were slightly cancelled. Not completely cancelled, but slightly cancelled out by the bad bits. And then from the first half, really, I don't think there's anyone. Actually, Michael's Soul Demons was quite interesting as well, but I don't know if he took enough risks or was good enough in the verses to like be able to compete with those with the second half. Will he still be memorable after we've had all those second half songs? I'm not sure about that. Especially since there's been no semi-final, so everyone's only going to get one listen as well, which is a little bit unusual for Vidbir because we usually have 2 semis and then a final. Quickly check the odds. So it is Alina. It's okay. The 4 I just mentioned are the 4 favorites. So Alina's number 1, then Roxolana, then Kalush, then Michael. Wellboy is sitting in 5th, despite the fact he hasn't released a song. Let's wait and see. That's kind of exciting. It's unusual that someone gets to release their song later, and why is it so late? Again, a little bit strange, but Vidbir knows how to bring the drama. Let's have a quick look at the app and see how the Eurovision fans are reacting. Well, Wellboy is in 6th despite not releasing a song, which is a little bit odd. I suppose people have to rate him or it won't register. So again, Alina, Pash, and Roxolana and Kalush Orchestra. Okay, so pretty much the exact same top 3 I had. Okay, so that's nice. I'm in line with the Eurovision community for once. Actually, the top 4 is the same. Okay, wow. We're really synchronized. We're synchronized. The odds are synchronized. Everyone's synchronized together. We all agree that Alina should go at this point in time. But let's wait and see what the live performance is going to be, because I know that there's definitely going to be some interesting live performances here because they've got a lot of character to work off into the visuals in their song, and I think that could really elevate it. Plus, we've always got the unpredictability of the juries. You know, the juries in Vidbir are not exactly, let's say, predictable. Okay, so that's what I think about the 7 songs I've heard so far in Vidbir. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And thanks so much for watching. I'm seeing another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.